Today on 9 News Mornings, investigators in Jefferson County are looking for a sexual predator.
He's at large because he continues to be more and more aggressive.
Now warning women to not go hiking alone. Members of our military and intelligence community testified about UFO encounters, a subject for decades not talked about with any seriousness. Now lawmakers are pushing for more transparency. Broncos training has started, but keeping calm during the Broncos season may not be that easy. 9 News Mornings starts now. Right now, police across the state are looking for a baby girl who has been missing for around 36 hours. Police believe 2-month-old Elsie Ortolino is with her parents, but she is not safe with them.
9 News reporter Courtney Yoon is live from Denver this morning. Courtney, first responders have sent out multiple Amber Alerts about this case.
Yeah, good morning, Jordan and Corey. They've been sending out updates of where she was last seen. You may have been getting those Amber Alerts on your phone. Investigators say this baby girl was taken from a family member's home in Pueblo West, and she was last seen in Aurora. Around 2:20 yesterday, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation said the girl and her parents were last known to be around Alameda Avenue and Havana Street in Aurora. The suspects are the child's parents, 39-year-old Ashley Ardolino and 35-year-old Luis Novello Rojas. They both live in the Denver area. On Tuesday, family members told deputies that Elsie's parents drove from Denver to visit her in Pueblo West. The Pueblo County Sheriff's Office says Ardolino and Novello Rojas took Elsie from a family member's home after an argument. Investigators say Elsie had been living there after her mother said some disturbing things and requested the family member take Elsie. Investigators say that they have found the family's car in Aurora, but still don't know where the baby is. If you have any information that could lead investigators to this child, please call 911. Corey, Jordan.
Oh, scary situation for sure. Courtney, thank you for the update.
Let's get a check of your forecast now with Ed.
Well, it's the same old story where we have the sunny days with temperatures in the 90s, and then you see an afternoon shower thunderstorm to cool it down. Really not a bad way to go. Temperatures right now mostly in the 50s and 60s, east and west and into the mountain areas, with a couple of 40s and 70s out to the west of us right now. We did have around midnight, saw some showers and thunderstorms push right through the metro area, and then they just kept moving, and now they're into Kansas and pretty much out of the state. And with that, we're going to start with mostly sunny skies, and then we see an increase in clouds, showers and thunderstorms once again this afternoon. Any chance for severe weather mainly over southeastern sections of the state. So here's that forecast. 92 degrees today with a chance for storms. We have only isolated storms tomorrow at 93, starting the weekend with isolated storms, and 92 as we look to Sunday, 93 degrees with a good chance for storms. And Monday, boy, more of the same, 91 degrees. Yep, chance for storms.
Ed, thank you. Right now, we want to check in and show you what the drive looks like across the metro area. 270 in Vasquez, quiet. Same thing goes for I-25 and 58th Avenue. No issues at I-70 and 270. And if you're going to be traveling at 225 in Colfax, easy breezy as well. Quick look at our map as you get ready to head out across the metro. Just seeing a whole lot of green. Travel times in very good shape. If you're heading into Commerce City, you've got the green light on westbound 76.
Erica, thank you. The Larimore County Sheriff says a deputy was within department policy when he tased a man on I-25 who was then hit and killed by a car. The deputy was not charged with a crime, though the district attorney who reviewed the case said the deputy used poor judgment.
Now, we are going to show you the body camera footage of what happened, but we are going to stop it before the crash. The family of the man killed wants the deputy charged for what you're about to see here. Brent Thompson was pulled over in February for having expired tags. He apparently gave the deputy a fake name, and when the deputy learned it was fake, he went back to Thompson, who ran toward I-25. The deputy threatened to stun him with a taser and does, just as Thompson begins to run across the highway. Just a few seconds later, he was hit and killed by a driver on I-25. Now, Thompson's family indicated they are taking the Larimore County Sheriff's Office to civil court. A use of force expert told us it should be pretty common training that you do not use a taser on someone who's in a vulnerable position, like if they're standing on a ledge or the middle of a highway. Since the internal investigation found the deputy's action was, quote, within policy, he will not be disciplined.
After an all-night standoff where a grandma had to be rescued through a window, the man accused of kidnapping his ex is heading to jail. Tuesday night, deputies told us Lance Foster took off with his ex-girlfriend. Deputies tracked them to an apartment in Wheat Ridge owned by Foster's family. When they got there, they talked Foster into letting the woman go. She went to a hospital to be checked out. Deputies say Foster stayed in the apartment with his grandmother. They spent most of the night trying to get him to surrender. Just before 6 a.m. Wednesday, a SWAT team pulled his grandmother out through a window. window. Police arrested Foster about an hour later. He was taken to the hospital in police custody on investigation of kidnapping, assault, robbery, and other charges.
Right now, investigators in Jefferson County are trying to track down a man they say has exposed himself and tried to assault multiple women on trails. And deputies say the man is getting more aggressive. It has gotten so bad they are telling women not to go hiking alone. Deputies say since April there have been 7 attacks at Flying J Park in Conifer and Three Sisters Park in Evergreen. The sheriff's office says a man is targeting women hiking alone. They say he tends to surprise them from behind, at times fully naked, exposing and touching himself and grabbing at the women.
Because he's at large, because he continues to be more and more aggressive, hiking alone is not really a safe option right now.
Now, deputies don't know if the man lives around those parks. The description of the man is pretty vague as well, so deputies are telling people just to be hyper aware and hike in pairs or groups.
We now know that the 3 bodies discovered at a Gunnison County campground earlier this month were a woman, her 14-year-old son, and her adult sister, who were trying to, quote, live off the grid. Family members say the 3 left Colorado Springs last summer. The coroner says they died sometime in the winter. The coroner says there were empty food cans, survival books, and it looked like they started to build a lean-to type shelter. Also, their bodies showed malnourishment, and they may have succumbed to starvation, freezing temperatures, or carbon monoxide poisoning from making a fire to stay warm. The coroner is still waiting on toxicology results before determining causes of death.
A scary moment on Capitol Hill. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell suddenly stopped speaking for several seconds during a weekly news conference. While talking with reporters, McConnell froze at the podium. One of his fellow senators escorted him away. Then a few minutes later, McConnell walked back to the news conference by himself and took questions. When asked about his health, he said he was fine and able to do his job. Earlier this year, the Republican leader was hospitalized with a concussion and a rib fracture after a fall.
Topping national news this hour, former President Donald Trump's legal team is preparing for a possible indictment. According to sources familiar with the Trump team, they say a grand jury vote on charges could come as soon as later today. This would be for the investigation into the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Trump has claimed that he is the victim of prosecutorial misconduct, and this is an effort by the Department of Justice to interfere in the 2024 election. A federal grand jury in Florida last month indicted Trump on criminal charges related to classified documents that were kept at his Florida home. He's pleaded not guilty in that case. Trump has also pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in a New York State case.
President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, pleaded not guilty to 3 charges after an expected plea deal in the case hit a snag. The judge raised concerns about the terms of the agreement. Hunter Biden was originally expected to plead guilty to 2 tax offenses and a weapons charge. Right now, the plea deal is on hold while both sides work to provide the judge more info in the case. They are expected to reconvene in the next 6 weeks.
New this morning, some new planes will start having lavatories big enough to be wheelchair accessible, a change disability advocates have fought for a long time. The U.S. Department of Transportation issued the final rule yesterday. The rule will only apply to new single-aisle planes with at least 125 seats, like Boeing 737s and Airbus A320s. That means smaller regional jets used on hundreds of flights a day won't be covered. Airlines also won't be required to retrofit current planes.
Facebook users only have 1 month to apply for their share of a $725 million privacy settlement. Meta is paying to settle a lawsuit alleging that Facebook allowed millions of its users' personal information to be shared with Cambridge Analytica, a firm that supported Donald Trump in the 2016 election. Anyone in the U.S. that had a Facebook account between May 24 of 2007 and December 22nd of 2022 is eligible to receive a payment. To apply for the settlement, you can fill out a form online or print it out and submit it online. The deadline is August 25th.